Interlace the fingers and roll the wrists, both wrists at the same time. And then we're going to just tap our toe on the floor like that. And we're going to roll in our ankle at the same time. So loosen up the joints at the wrists and at the ankles. Switch directions for the ankle. Oh, what? What? Don't change the hands though. A little confusing. There we go. All right. Now we're going to switch directions on the wrist and switch to the other foot. Glad you're here with me. And switch directions on the wrist and the ankle. It can be a lot of fun to teach Tai Chi or Kung Fu, especially when you get to do more of the fancy stuff. It's fun for the instructors. Teaching the beginner stuff is not as much fun for the instructor as far as doing the moves goes. It's more about the enjoyment of seeing someone start from nothing and begin to lay a foundation. All right, and we're going to swing our hands up like this. So as the hands swing up, the palms go to the ceiling like that. Not rigidly, but just loosely. And then they flip back here at the bottom. And the heels come up a little bit, and then the toes come up a little bit. All right, and then this one here, we're going to lift up our arms and we're going to turn and drop. Now what most people do, even though they have some experience, is they do this one by mistake, where the arms are just flopping to the sides. That is another one. It isn't this one. This one is middle, drop, middle, drop, middle, drop, middle, drop. And you want to turn in your whole body, in your spine, and then also let it fold in the hips each time you turn. So the hips are also turning to loosen up the hips, the lower back, to start to warm up the legs, and to release tension out of the arms. This one you don't need a lot of experience to start doing. It just feels good. And while you do it, you follow the principle of the head staying straight in Tai Chi. So you want to keep the head up and not let like the head drop or dangle. Just keep the head up, not the chin up, just the head up, so that the head is over the shoulders, and you get to turn at your center. Okay, another one for the shoulders. And we did this last time if you were with me. If not, you can always go back to the earlier videos that are on this same YouTube channel. And we're going to go forward. We'll go about 10 times forward. And about 10 times backwards. Nothing special about this, just circle in the shoulders. Rotate in the shoulders. Okay, now we're going to split it. So both hands are up. You can practice this on your own too sometime. And you're going to split. One forward, one backwards. When I was a teenager, I took a trip with my teacher up to Minnesota. And there was a master there named Dana Miller. He was a wide eyebrow master. I know that's strange. Switch directions. I always think of those old kung fu movies with those masters with the really long wide eyebrows. So it's a whole style of kung fu called wide eyebrow. Well, I don't remember any of the wide eyebrow except it used the phoenix fist a lot. That's all I remember. And this warm up. This is where I learned it back in the 80s. I forgot which direction I was going, so I'm just going to switch again. You don't have to. Oh, that feels good. Okay. Stretch the hands way out to the sides, make tighter claws. Just tighten them super tight. Tighten the arms, forearms, upper arms, chest, and relax. Okay, let's do another warm up. Oh, for the legs. Yeah, of course. Let's do our crane leg swings. And since you're joining me, I'll give you a little bonus information. I learned these crane leg swings from this crazy crane master yoga dude. I have to say dude. Back in the early 90s, he taught a wushu stretch class, and I took a teacher training program from him. He studied Wulum, Kung Fu, and White Crane. So this was the stretching routine, was to start with crane leg swings. So we're going to do it. Again, the crane leg swings are not actual kicks. They're meant to create some weight and some stress to help warm up and open up the hips and strengthen the core, the lower back, the abdomen, and stuff from the way it works. Because a kick, a little kick, you'll need some coordination and maybe some flexibility, but when you pick up a leg straight, it's heavy, and so the stress of the work goes up to the core, right? So we keep the legs straight on all the crane leg swings, as straight as possible. They're not meant to be real kicks. All right, let's do it. We're going to do 21 each. The first one, I'm going to face the same way, like you're following me in a workout, but I'll still show you once from the side. It's just like that. Like I said, it's not a real kick. You wouldn't do that to kick someone or to kick a bag. You'd hurt yourself. But it helps start to stretch out the leg and strengthen the core. So that's the first one. Front crane leg swing. Ready? Move with me the best you can. Oh, you can touch your toe if you want, but it's not absolutely necessary. That's what I'm going to do though. Ready? Go. Other leg. Go. That was 21. Now to the side leg swing. Looks like a side kick. If you did a side kick and you held it out, right, at about hip level, the toe, main point of it, is that your toe and your foot are horizontal. Now again, we're not kicking, we're swinging, but the end position approximates what would be a side kick in karate or kung fu. Ready? Other side. I hope you put your cat away and your dog away. Ready? And go. All right, now we're going to do, that's 21. Now we're going to do the one that's back, and it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll show you. But in Kung Fu, we have something called the tiger tail kick, which essentially is like you're walking along and you kick straight backwards without turning your hip. If you turn your hip, that's what we call side kick. If the hips don't turn very much, and you're kind of kicking blind, just barely looking, that's tiger tail. The leg stays straight though, because this one's not a kick. So in crane leg swings, it'll stay straight, and it doesn't have to come up very high. Ready? Go. All right, other side. Left leg, go. All right, now my favorites. I told you that these weren't all real kicks, but actually sometimes in tiger crane kung fu, we will do a straight leg crescent. But really the bent leg crescent that hits something is more powerful, right? Theoretically, kicking a knife out of someone's hand or something like that. No knives today. Oh, well, actually 2 knives today, but that's a little bit later. We're going to circle out. It's called a crescent kick, crescent moon. Crescent moon is the full name, but we only say crescent because it makes a big circle. Ready? And then again, you can hit your foot. You don't have to hit your foot with your hands. I like it. It helps keep my pace. Ready? And go. Circle to the left and the right. Go. Another side. Circle to the right and to the left. All right, that's outside crescent because it goes from your center line and away. The next one's an inside crescent because it comes from the outside in towards your center line. Ready? Right foot first. And go. Hitting your hand is optional. Other side. All right. And let's do the splits again. And if you're brand new to this, don't do this part. Just watch, or just do a V, like stand and stretch. But anyways, what I want you to do is separate your feet as far as you can, or almost there. Bend forward, put your hands on the floor, palms or fists, doesn't really matter. And shift back, like put the hips back, and then snake forward, which means you go back and bend the elbows, bring the face close to the floor, like a push-up and push up. Take it back. You should have noticed that your feet slid a little further apart. And again. And again. And pick the toes up. Again. And the best that you can. Walk it back. Don't plop, try not to plop. Just try to set yourself down. And palms up. Stretch. Reach to one side. Y al otro lado también. Reach to the other side. Reach to both sides. If you're able to, put your stomach on the floor, put your chest on the floor, put your forehead on the floor, and just rest for 10 seconds. Okay, lift the head back up. Set the hands back. Let the hips unroll. Bring the feet in. Twist it out. Bring the feet in some more. Twist it out. Bend them a little bit. All right, and go get your double sabers. Now, while everyone's getting their double sabers, I want to let you know that it might not be safe to use double sabers in your living room if that's where you are. So be mindful of, especially young people, kids, be mindful of your surroundings. Last time I suggested getting 2 butter knives, they're not sharp, and they don't weigh very much, and they still let you know which direction you're cutting. And yeah, it's a little odd to practice with them, but in any kind of surprise self-defense situation, you may not have the tools you need readily available, and you might have to make weapons out of random household objects. Or if you have 2 short sticks, those will be good. Like we will let you borrow these when you're here. They call these sticks the scrimmage sticks. I know it's not as fun as a sword or a saber because it doesn't have an edge, or does it? you know, it does in a way, and it makes a sound when you swing it through the air. So this is what I would choose at home if I didn't have a lot of room. I definitely couldn't use these inside my living room, okay? I'd have to be squatting really low and keep all my stances really, really low to do it. So find something that's shorter, and then just look forward to a time when you're back in class and we can do this together. All right? So I said I was going to review the ending, like the new moves first. So let me go ahead and do that. And that kind of evens the playing field for everyone who's in this live stream or watching this in the future. Because then we're all on the new moves at the same time. You don't have to feel so bad about thinking you have to catch up with us. All right? Are you ready? Did you have a sip of water? All right. We made it to this move here. I'm not going to worry about how we got here right now. We'll get to that today. So we made it to here. We have the left foot forward. The right foot supports us. We call it a left foot forward cat stance. The left hand's under the right armpit. The right hand is kind of by your ear. And everything switches to the other side for a second. Then the left goes around the head as you pick up the left knee. And then the right cuts out. And then you step. Then we step forward and turn around and reset with one of our common moves into the same position, facing a different direction. That's a left foot forward cat stance. Then we spun around, and we cut, and we went jump to kneeling, adjust, and jump over. That's as far as we made it. That was the new stuff from last time. I'm not going to cover it as in depth. Look at the last video. It's all there. We spent a lot of time reviewing it over and over. But I will do it a few more times here. Review from the very beginning all the way up to there. And then, yes, for those diehards who are following, we will do another move or two. So stick with it today. As review again, we were here, we switched, took a step, then we jump, and we hesitate for a second, and then cut. Step forward into it, turn to your right, step back with the right foot, and load everything up on the right side with the left foot forward. Then spin around, left foot steps, right foot comes to left, right saber goes around the head as the left cuts out. Keep turning, here comes the left over the head, the left cuts down, and then the right and left go together. Then you adjust the feet, and left, right. All right, that's a walk through pace. I find that full speed and power, I might lose some of you. All right, let's do that one more time, then we'll start running from the top. Here we go. This is what we worked on last time. All right, so good news is, later on you can watch it again, pause and rewind, and do slow-mo, so you can really get all the details. Let's do it from the top. Make sure you have room. Don't hurt your parents. Don't hurt the other people in the room, and try not to break anything. I'm going to keep it to a walk-through pace. Most of the form is going to go that way, okay? I know you kind of have to be in front of your screen, but you might see if you can still see me, even though you go to the right of your screen. Don't be too close to your screen so you don't hit it with anything. And let's start. Again, a walk through pace to help you get the sequence. Begin. you a chance to catch up. Everything's on the left. The right foot's forward. And go. What's next? Yep, monkey hop section. Monkey hop. And pose. Monkey hop. Pose. Switch and reset. Switch and double pull. And hit. Tuck it under. Around and back. Guess what's next? You're right. Monkey hops again. Hold. Hold. Switch. And reset. Switch. And here comes the X. Left foot. Right foot lifts. X. Stomp. Step. Scissor. Cut. Reset. Guess what? This is where I reviewed at the beginning of the video after the warm-up. Switch and jump. Cut through. Reset. And turn. Round the back with the left. Pull and double cut. Jump. Yeah? Are you getting it? Send me a message. Let me know. Let's walk through it again, right? If there's a particular spot you want to look at, once I save the recording, you can find the timestamp and just say, hey, from this date at this time, can we work on that part? You know, because we haven't named all the moves yet. Each one of these moves does have a name that goes with it. Okay, I'm going to do it again. I feel sometimes like I'm in the real class and I'm losing some students, like they're not quite keeping up because it's so many moves and they haven't been in the class. But I'm going to assume you did get all the moves, and I'm just going to pick up the pace a little bit, but still not go full speed. All right, here we go. Find your spot. Move that piece of furniture or whatever that you discovered was in your way. Okay, here we go. Oh, when we first start, remember, we're just holding the swords like this. It's not a strong grip. It's just, they're just here. Okay? And if you have like little knives or something, like little butter knives, like I said, then you know, it's kind of funny looking, but you just hold them there like that too. All right? Here we go. Yeah, let's do it one more, and then we're going to do some new moves, because I know you can rewind this later. Ready? And begin. Catch your breath. Still feel like we should do that like 10 more times, but let's go ahead and I'll talk you through very slowly, overlapping some of the old new part, or new old part, the very end of that, and I'll connect it to the next segment of moves. Which, by the way, what we're covering today is all repeats, but it doesn't matter that they're repeats, because they'll still get twisted in your head, at least they do in mine, because it's the same move, but another direction. And not a half turn or full turn, or was it 3/4 of a turn? It's a little confusing, so I'm gonna try to prevent the confusion for you. So, let's take it, we did the kick and we did the slice here. So, let's go from here. Like I said last live streaming class on this section of officially 3 or 4 moves, I find that students have the hardest time with. And it's because of, like, in other Kung Fu forms and Tai Chi forms, when moves repeat, we lose track because we end up confusing ourselves and we don't remember which one of them we're on, okay? So we're here, and we're turning around. I guess you'd call that a 180. And then you're jumping to kneeling here, and then jumping here. The next move is a repeat. Earlier in the form, we did the thing where we went over our shoulder, tucked, turned around, and loaded up here. Right? Okay, yeah, we did do it. Okay, let's try that again. So we've done the kick thing where we kicked and we ended up here. We come forward, around, back, and then we go with 180 into here and here. Then we go over our shoulder for a reset. Okay. Then repeat time. We're going to go. Okay, wait a minute. Review that again. Okay, let's take it back all the way to here. Okay, we're here, and here, and then forward to a reset. Then we go around, the cut, the jump, and over the shoulder to here. Now we're going to do the same move again, but we're going to end up going that way. Okay? That's where it's a little confusing. It's the same move we did over there, but over there. All right, again? Okay, again. Let's take it all the way back to here. We've switched. And we come around our head, hesitate, cut through, pull back, and come around, and go, and go. Over the shoulder to reset. Okay, then turning around again. Okay. Honestly, that much isn't so bad unless I taught everything I just showed you just now and that today and the next part, which is typically how I like to do it because it's all like one group of a section, but then it just gets so confusing. So, yeah, you want to see it again? All right. Picking it up before the kick. We switch the feet. This, by the way, these aren't like, sometimes when we do it, it looks like it's a move like that. But really, It's just a walkthrough, okay? It's not meant to have a stop. So this is a correction for everyone, including me, because when I teach it, I break it down so much. Now I've created some bad habits as far as the final version goes. One of those bad habits is stoop. It's like stopping right there. It doesn't. Every time those switch, like on the monkey hop section, when we were over here, and we go like that, it doesn't really do that. It just continually walks through, okay? It doesn't actually have a stop there. The same thing is on every time we come back to here, we're stopping because I'm making sure everyone's still with me. But really, when we pull back, it immediately goes forward. So I'll try to illustrate that on this section here, and then I'll go back to what I was doing, which is easier to follow. So if we're here, we're moving continuously, and then here, we pull back, but no, we immediately go forward. And we're here, and we pull back, no, we immediately go forward. You kind of see what I'm talking about. It'd be better if I stopped, made sure we were together, and then kept going, which is what I'm going to do now. So we're here. I'm stopping now, so you're with me. And I'm stopping. Later, we'll move continuously. Here I am again. I'm going to stop. But, you know, it really continues, but we're going to stop here and then take it in one motion. All right? In class, you know, I want to see you do it a bunch of times. Make sure you have it, and then do the next part. Okay, well, we can't do that today, but I want to see this. I want you to practice this so that when you return to class live, in person, that you have a good sense of these movements, and I can tell that you've been practicing them and you're ready to move on. One of the things about some of these forms, they're so fancy and complicated that when we finish it, you're going to be like, that's it? Like, yeah, I mean, the whole form lasts a minute or two, and you're done. But yeah, it can take a year at once a week. It can take 6 or 8 months for experienced practitioners to learn this routine. But you know, it's double swords, double sabers, it's fun. All right, let's talk more. Less talking, more chopping. That's what I like to say, but just kind of chopping here. So let's do it from the top, once or twice more, and then we'll wrap it. From the beginning all the way up to the new stuff, still we'll do those pauses to give you a chance to stay with me. If you get a little bit ahead of me at home, that's okay. In class, not so good. We end up wrecking into each other. We got to stay together in class. Take a breath or two. And begin. Dexter moves. Yeah? More? Next time more. Want to do it again? Yeah, let's do it one more time. Oh no, don't just sit down. Get back up. Just do it one more time. I'm doing it one more time. You can do it one more time. You get a sip of water if you need to. Let's do it one more time. Ready? Come on up. Ready? Begin. More? Oh, honestly, I lost my train of thought getting into it. Okay, from here it's just our new part. Cool. So, me losing track is a good time to say, hey, how fast or how slowly should you practice your form? We have the same question. Tai Chi, how slow, how fast? For Kung Fu, how fast? For Tai Chi, how slowly? So when you're practicing, I'll say for Tai Chi, go as slow as you can without stopping, right? If you're stopping, then that's too slow. It should be continuous. Tai Chi doesn't have stops in it usually. For Kung Fu, you want to speed up your form. How fast should you do it? As fast as you can, do it, you guessed it, without stopping, right? So if you're trying to get a train of thought, a connectivity in your form, a continuity of movement, you saw when I sped up, that I got a little ahead of myself where it was easy to forget the movement. Which I did. I forgot the movement for a second, and a second later I remembered it. So if I had dialed it down a little slower, by the time I got to that movement, I would have naturally anticipated it. On the other hand, too, when you make a mistake, like I did, you remember, right? You're like, okay, got it. I know it's after that move. Again, you think about it, and you make sure you don't make the mistake again. So, hey, thanks for coming today. We're a little bit over the time I wanted to. Typically, the class is an hour or about 55 minutes because we have push hands right afterwards. Obviously, right now we're not doing push hands. That's not 6 feet apart. So, but half the time is me watching and correcting and giving feedback and answering questions. So hopefully you can take some time and review this video over and over again. For those who are watching it live, I'll clip it and get it live where you can watch it again immediately. All right, so let's go ahead and bow out. I'm really excited that you came today. I really like this form. Obviously, I wouldn't share it with you if I didn't think it was cool. And someday you can learn double fans. That's even more challenging than this one. Good job. Thanks for coming to class.